Our next guest was affected by endless conflict in his home country before he established himself in Zambia and Zimbabwe as a bassist, guitarist and arranger. Kinshasa-born Mulele Matondo Afrika started music at an early age, and his Congolese style has seen him work with some big names, including Charles Aniagolu. He joins us now, but before we speak to him, let's take a quick look at some of his music and understand what all the fuss is about. And of course, I'm delighted to say that Mulele Matondo Afrika is here with me. Thank you very much indeed. And I just couldn't help resist moving to that beat. It's got that kind of, you know, thing that it's difficult not to tap your feet, isn't it?
Bonkoko. We call it bonkoko.
Makoko.
Bonkoko.
Bonkoko.
Yeah, ancestor.
Okay, so it's like you got to sort of move with it. It's a sort of drive thing there. Brilliant. I loved it. You're from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yes, sir.
How does the conditions in that country, we know it's been, you know, in conflict for a long time. How does that affect the music that you write?
Yeah, it's really difficult because our leaders, they don't want to accept our music because our music is trying to expose what's happening in my
sort of protest
country.
Music.
Protest, yes. It's not the protest, but the reality because we've been oppressed by some people and above. Like we come from the ghetto, there's no electricity, there's no water. So we're trying to sing louder so they can hear if they can do something. We're just asking them for a little
But it's very difficult for them to achieve that. I mean, Congo has, GRC has been in conflict for a long time. I mean, you can see what's happening in Sierra Leone, Liberia, as a result of Ebola. Yes. And the reason they're having such challenges is because they came out of years of conflict. And so all the institutions have been essentially destroyed.
I don't think so, because Congo is very rich. Congo is so rich.
So you think it's corruption?
It's corruption. The main thing is corruption, definitely, yes.
Now, you organize a festival for peace in Kinshasa over the summer.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was an idea because when I went there, I realized I come from the ghetto. In the ghetto, there's nothing to do. The children, they are not doing anything. So I decided to go to look for the street, the artists who play in the street, who never play live. They are talented, but they can never afford to play live. So I organized that, and then I bring them together. So we did that festival.
And what sort of turnout did you have?
It was over 3,000 people.
Well, that's not bad.
It was big. It was the first time happening in my ghetto where there's no violence and no trouble.
Are you quite popular in your country?
I cannot say popular, but I would say my message is reaching.
Now, certainly the impression we're getting is that people respect you there, and that message is being heard loud and clear by lots of people. The question, of course, is, are the right people who are in the corridors of power actually listening to what you're saying? Yeah,
they do listen, but I follow the footsteps of like people like Fela. People like Bob Marley. Those are the people who inspire us, because Africa has been going through a difficult time. It's time for our leaders to stand up and help us survive, you know? So if the music is just in the one direction of making people dance happy without telling the social issue of the problem, I don't think, I know if they listen, they can maybe change. If we are many artists doing that, maybe we can change them.
Do you think part of the problem might be that too many Africans, you know, have too, you know, unrealistic expectations of their governments? In other words, they expect government to do everything. Because, I mean, I'll give you an example. There are places you go to in Africa, you sort of walk around and you see lots of, you know, people throw rubbish on the roads and all that, and then they come out and say to you, well, the government isn't cleaning the streets. And you're thinking, well, why can't you clean your own environment? Because if everybody did that, then the environment would be clean, and you don't have to wait for the government to do that.
But if your belly is not full, how can you manage to go outside and clean?
Yeah, but is it the government's responsibility to fill your belly?
Because they are responsible. Government, they're like our fathers. So they are in control of the country. Congo, we have coltan, we have uranium, we have diamond. I don't know about other part of Africa. I'm talking about my country. It's very rich. We have water. We have everything. Can you tell me some places electricity is going out for 2 weeks? No water. That's not justification for... That's the government problem. They don't care about others.
So you think there should be infrastructure built, and then that will allow the people to use their natural... In other words, if there's electricity, then you can become a barber or become something else and do what you need to do, because you can just plug in and your clippers will work.
Definitely, I think so.
Right, now you've been honoured with an Ambassador of Peace title from the local government in your country. What does that title mean to you?
It means a lot. It's for my people, because I believe I get it because of them. So I'm with them. I respect them. That is for them.
And of course, your music is quite critical, isn't it? It criticizes a lot of leaders and so on. I mean, have you actually had any reaction from them?
Yes. Because last time I was in Congo, there were some of the songs they didn't want to play it on TV.
I like that.
Like national TV.
Right. What song was that? What did it contain? That
because it talks about since 1994, war. It never ends. We just sing accords after accords, signing, nothing happening. Every day, our mothers, they've been killed. Our sisters, they've been raped. So it's been going on for so long, though. So that song, it will claim time has come to finish this war, let our mother free.
Now, you also sing about life, and you mentioned that, of course, particularly in your single, is it Ingeta?
Ingeta.
Right, okay. You asked that people in the DRC are seen as humans, and you show children asking for education.
Yes.
I mean, you are a sort of champion of the people, are you?
That is the music, because you're like journalists. Musicians are like journalists, so you cannot sit down here and then telling the people lies. You have to tell the people what's going on in the world.
And what about your other single, Bonkoko?
Bonkoko. Bonkoko is homage to the pygmy, because the pygmy, they've been oppressed. I don't just defend the people of the city. I defend as well the people who have been oppressed, like the pygmy. They've been oppressed so much, so I'm asking for the government to look for something for them. They're part of Congo too.
Now, your English, I don't mean to sound patronizing here, but your English is very fluent, but you still choose to sing in local languages. I mean, you could reach a bigger audience, couldn't you, if you sang in English? What's the reason for singing in your local language?
Because I believe if I sing more in my local language, people can translate. I want people to translate like I used to, like Fela Kuti.
So you really wanted to touch those people at the bottom there?
The bottom one in power.
So if I wanted to come and see you, and I'm quite interested in perhaps paying a visit to one of your concerts, I mean, where can I see you perform? In London here?
I will have a concert next year, because at the moment I have the album which I'm preparing, I want to release. So after that album is released, Bisopasi, and I have that single which is come out, Ingeta. After that, I'm planning for next year, big tour.
So you don't know yet when you're going to be...
By January, I'll start the concert.
Right. Well, I hope we can keep in touch with you.
Right.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. That's Mulele Matondo Afrika, the Kinshasa-born musician who has graced our studios with his presence. Thank you very much indeed.